Ladies and gentlemen, guests and organizers, a good evening to all of you. On 14th of April 1987, at 7:30 p.m., I was like you, standing, walking, moving around. At 7:31, a bus hit our car, leaving two dead, leaving a little 1.5-year-old, an orphan, leaving two others to suffer for several months before embracing death, and leaving me on the wheelchair, a quadriplegic. You might ask, what is a quadriplegic? Quadri, as we all know, is 4. So my spinal cord is fractured at the level of my neck, at the 7th cervical vertebra, and below my neck, everything is dead. Even if you pour hot and cold water over me, I would know. If I don't sit on a wheelchair with a high back, with just a little nudge of one of your fingers, I can fall down. I have no control, voluntary control over my bladder and bowel. My legs are non-functional. In other words, for society, I became unwanted, a big zero. The immediate impact of my disability was I became dependent on others for help. Everything, from eating my food, from wearing my clothes, from tying my hair, to very personal things, menstrual hygiene and also bladder and bowel care, I always needed a caregiver. The second thing was rejection. I had made a lot of effort to qualify the elite service of India, the Indian Civil Services, and qualified it in my first attempt. My father wrote long letters. We must allow her a year for rehabilitation. She is a good girl, she has a bright mind, she has a good heart, everything that you need in a good officer to serve people. Instead, we received a reply, a one-pager, saying that she is rejected. Why? Because she is disabled. I was about to get married, 15 days to a man whom I loved and who loved me. But again, the accident brought an halt to. So everywhere I was rejected, I was humiliated, I was excluded. But my family didn't give up. They sent me for the best of rehabilitation. And when I returned home, it was with the understanding I'm not going to be the same outdoors person again who played basketball or who loved gardening. I'm not that. I will always be needing help and asking people for help. I will always need people to support my different activities. But I will be able to do everything. Maybe in a slower pace, maybe in a different way, but almost everything I can do. Until I landed in my hometown in Bhubaneswar and my world turned upside down. So with the rejection and not being allowed to do the job, what do I do? We sat down and started thinking, what are the other career opportunities available? And the best solution we as a family came to understand is academics, either research or teaching. But for that, I needed a MPhil, I needed a PhD. So I had to go back to the university. I was excited because it was my department, my university. I had brought many laurels to my department. I was the seminar secretary. I was the state and national basketball player. I was the 3 times national debating champion. I was the literary champion of the university. I was a vice chancellor's cup holder. And all excitement when I reach university, what do I find? Same professors, same department. Everyone's nodding their head. No, fingers are bent, curved, sitting on a wheelchair. She is not research material. She can't do anything. But I was fighting. I was holding on to a straight. This was the only opportunity for me to prove that yes, I can do everything. I still have a very active mind. Finally, while I was defending myself, one professor came forward. She said, if you don't want her, let her work under me. I know she is brilliant and she will be. Together we will be able to do something. So that was my first passport to freedom. She and I worked together. The first day I entered the university, a boy is there, Virat, who is lifting me from the chair, putting me on the wheelchair. When I straighten my clothes and I look up, there are 100 people standing all around staring at what is happening. Anyway, bearing that humiliation, I go inside. My lab is in the first floor. So Virat has to carry me up to the laboratory. First day went by. Second day, I have an urge to empty my bladder. And he has to bring me down because the toilet is in the ground floor. In my anxiety, I lift. I'm wet. My clothes are wet. Virat is wet. The stairs are wet. In humiliation, everybody's staring at me. Somebody's making a face. Somebody's saying, what is this happening in the university? Anyway, I managed to reach home, determined I'm never coming out of the house again. Next day morning, there's a knock and my parents walk in. My dad and my mom, they tell me, what is it? Is it the embarrassment of people staring at you because you're wet? Or what is it? We are here to solve your problem. We didn't have diapers then. So what my mother had done, she had cut down old towels, made thick pads. She said, even if there is a bladder accident, you are not wet, you are dry till you reach home. So one more problem solved and a big lesson learned. Sometimes when we face challenges in life, we become so focused on the problem that we forget there are so many solutions around us. Then life went on. I not just got my MPhil and my PhD, I also won the National Young Scientist Award. And we were delighted. Now is the beginning of a new career. College after college, I apply. I go for interviews. 2 positions, I'm 3rd. 6 research positions, I'm 7th. 3 positions in the lecturership, I'm 3rd. I was wondering what is happening. An excellent career, performed well in the interview, and then suddenly it dawned on me. My wheelchair was so huge. The shadow it cast was so big that people don't consider my academic career anymore. All that they see is a wheelchair, and they are afraid nobody wanted me. I was rejected again. What do I do? How do I establish myself? How do I become an asset to my family? And I started tuition. I started teaching students of class 3 and 4 and 5. With little money in my pocket, I was confident. I started spoken English classes for housewives. A little more confident, little more money in my pocket, I started a study circle for aspirants of Indian civil services. And I'm so proud to share with all of you. I have 300 students. The same job for which I was rejected, I have 300 students across India. Once career was established, once I became a proud taxpayer, then the next question started haunting me. Why we taxpayers are being treated so badly in our country? Why are we second-class and third-class citizens? Why are there barriers everywhere? Physical barriers, attitudinal barriers, communication barriers. Why doesn't anyone talk about education and employment, accessible transport, accessible building? Why the only thing the department meant for us talks about is distribute wheelchairs, distribute hearing aids, give something? Why is it always about welfare? What about empowerment? Why this is not happening? As this churning was happening inside me, so also it was happening to many other young people whom I met on the way. Late Javed Avedi in Delhi was thinking in the same light, a brilliant journalist. Jayashree Ravindran, speech and hearing impaired in Chennai. Dr. Pradeep Kumar Malik, a doctor in Kolkata. All of us got together and we started a movement. It was very difficult. On the one hand, we had to work with the society, which was so decided, which was so confirmed that these people are meant to stay in home. Either they have to be homebound or special schools, special events, special colleges, special training institutes. There's no inclusion. On the other hand, we had people with disabilities. Aspiration level was very low. Happy weaving a chair, happy making phenyl and something candles at home. There's no aspiration. So working with both the ends, talking to the people with disabilities, their parents, telling them, the sky is the limit. Look what is happening across the world. And I got involved with DPI, Disabled People's International. I was traveling across the world. I was seeing things as they were happening. and we wanted to reciprocate it in India. Government of India, the decade of Asia and Pacific was declared by the United Nations in 1980 to 1990. Country after country in Asia and Pacific was making laws for protecting rights of the disabled, providing them equal opportunity. Nothing was happening in India. So it took a long struggle, but finally one day, India sees a large number of people whom they call Vikalang, the blind, the hearing impaired, the people on mobility impaired, people with mental illness, all walking hand to hand. We protested before the parliament, and finally the first law was passed by Government of India in 1995 for equal opportunity, equal participation and protection of rights of the disabled. Once we had a law, now we marched to the department. The ministry was called Ministry of Social Welfare. We got the name changed later on to Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. But we went there, we told them, come on, we have a law now. You have to assign budget so that we talk about education, we talk about accessibility, we talk about employment, we talk about dignity of living. The ministry says, we don't do that. Go to the Planning Commission, which is now Niti Aayog. We go to Planning Commission. Planning Commission says, numbers, budget is not assigned because a few activists march into our room. Budget is decided on the basis of the official numbers. As per the census, you're only 0.27. 0.27? From where did you get this number? Do you know what we find? It is the 1827 British census. After that, nobody had bothered to count us. 3 questions only. Are you blind? Are you deaf? Are you a cripple? These were the questions being asked. Some answered, some didn't. And the percentage was 0.27. This was the year 2000. In 2001, Census of India would be conducted. We rushed. We rushed to the Home Ministry. They said, no way. Do you think it's a joke? The Census Commission comes under Home Ministry. They said hundreds and lakhs of enumerators will be trained. Is this a joke? We can't train them now on disability, and what number you will be? If not 0.27, 0.35, 0.56, we are not going to waste resources. What do? We got a lot of us together. We carried jars of kerosene and we marched to India Gate. Said we are going to immolate ourselves. We had the media with us. The media carried our story. The present Defense Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, he was then the Home Minister. He called us for him. He also saw people started talking, oh, look what is happening. The disabled are going to immolate themselves. And then we were called for a meeting. We had Maneka Gandhi there, who was then the minister, and a decision was taken that we will be counted. Number was less. When the counting happened, number was only 1.9%. But do you realize? Yes, 0.27 to 1.9%. But do you realize? We, invisible people of India, suddenly became visible citizens. There was budget for us. Decisions were being taken. The next was the election. How do we vote as respectable citizens of India? Election Commission said, no, it's not possible. We will have volunteers. They will carry you into the booths, those who are mobility impaired. For the blind, what do we do? I said, no, somebody can go for them. They'll quietly tell in their ears, this is the person I want to vote. No, we don't want that. Voting is a very personal exercise. It's my right. Why should anybody know who I'm voting for? Again, it was a long process. From 2004 till 2019, Supreme Court came forward, High Court came forward, they gave regulations. But changing attitudes in India is a very difficult thing, especially of low-level officers, the polling booth officials, the people who manage the polls. But we continued the struggle. In 2014, with the Supreme Court judgment, I walked in and I said, I want to cast my vote independently. You know what they said? With her one vote, she's going to turn the world upside down. We don't have time to take you inside. I created a ruckus, wrote several letters. Finally, they took me inside. The tables were so close, my wheelchair could not be pushed inside. Took time for them. I stood there. Said, I'm going to cast my vote. I'm holding a judgment Supreme Court of India. Tables were removed. I went inside. Ballot box is very high. I said, bring it down. No, we can't bring it down. There are so many people waiting outside. I said, I'm holding something. Don't you see this? It's going to be contempt of court. On the one hand, you say Odisha is one of the best there. It's very progressive. And look what you're doing. Then one of them came and said, very quietly, ma'am, why don't you tell me? I will cast your vote. I said, no, it's been a long journey over 20 years now. You better bring it down. They brought it down. I cast my vote and I came out going, do you know the attitude of our society? The people who were standing in the queue, they were all making faces at me, very unhappy that I wasted their time in casting my vote. That done, the census done, we marched forward. The Right to Education Act, a new act comes in India, no mention of disability. Again, a series of dharnas, again a series of candlelight vigils, marching on the streets, bringing parents and teachers together, bringing young people with disabilities together. And finally, the Right to Education Act was amended. Mr. Kapil Sibal was then the HRD minister. And in his presence, the law was amended. It took us 3 years. So what I want to tell all of you is everybody is in a big hurry these days. Don't be in a hurry. If you are focused at something and you want to achieve it, have a little bit of patience. It took 3 years, but finally the law was amended. And every child with disability has an opportunity now to go to a community school near their house. And then finally came the year 2016, the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act, the mother of all acts, such a beautiful law that was drafted in India. No government agency drafted this law. It was by people with disabilities. It was by parents of children with disabilities. We sat side by side with the government officials, with lawyers, with law professors. How many of you have heard about the National Law School in Bengaluru? We brought them in, and finally, the law that has been made is now an example for across the world. People are looking at this law. Change happens, but it is difficult. It takes a lot of time. I am here. I'm addressing all of you because I never gave up. I want to close my talk by just telling you a few things to remember. Number one, dream big. Your dream should not be just for you. I was from a privileged family. I did not need a bus. I did not need concession in train. But the changes we have brought about is going to help this new generation of the disabled who will have ample opportunity to travel on their own, to go to schools and colleges of their choice and lead a life of dignity. Dream big. And when you dream big, don't sleep on it. Work on it. Dr. Kalam has said, your dream should be such that it should never let you sleep. Work hard with sincerity. Success will be yours. Number 3, very important, is giving back. Right from the day we were conceived, my mom gave me her blood. She gave me her oxygen, and that's how I survived and I was born. My father, my grandfather, my grannies, all of them helped me through my childhood. My teachers contributed. So now I often find young people saying, I did it myself. No, we cannot be successful unless hundreds of people have come together to help. So it is our turn now that we are established, to give back. Give back your time. Give back your skill. Give back your shoulder. It's not money that people always need. They need you. They need your love. And then together, we can create a world that is equal. We can break all barriers. We can push all the boundaries. And we can reach out to the star in the sky. Thank you for giving me an audience.